Hello everyone, welcome to Banajawad PU College online classes. Already yesterday session we are discussing about the different kinds of overpopulation and reasons for overpopulation and also consequences of overpopulation, and lastly we are discussed about the preventing measures of overpopulation. Under the preventing measures, one of the most important preventing measures also we explained, that is nothing but as a birth control measures. Now in this session we will discuss in detail information about the birth control or contraceptive methods. Clear? Now we will start the session. Okay, fine. Now we will move forward to the birth control or contraception. What is the meaning of the contraception actually? Contraception means it is a process of prevention of pregnancy by interfering with normal ovulation and fertilization and implantation. See that? What is meant by the contraception? Contraception means it is a process of prevention of pregnancy. Okay, fine. It is a process of prevention of pregnancy. How we are going to be preventing the pregnancy? How this contraception is preventing pregnancy means by interfering with ovulation process, with fertilization process and with implantation process. In these three ways, any one area it can interfere and also it can prevent the pregnancy. If it is interfere in the case of ovulation interfering means eggs are not producing, there is no chance to get the pregnancy. If it is interfering in the case of fertilization, after producing eggs and sperms, then also it can stop the mating of stop the physical contact of sperms and eggs. And if it is interfering in the case of implantation, you know very well about implantation. What is implantation? Attachment of the embryo to the uterine walls. This is also prevented, means we can prevent the pregnancy. Okay, now we can see that one more time. I will tell you that it is a process of prevention of pregnancy by interfering with normal ovulation, normal fertilization and normal implantation. Okay, fine. Now we will discuss about what kind of methods or what kind of devices we will use to prevent the pregnancy. Those we can call it as contraceptives. For example, you can see that contraceptive methods. Contraceptive methods. What are contraceptive methods? Contraceptive methods mean these are the devices which we are used to prevent the pregnancy. We can call it as contraceptive methods. Okay, now we can see that contraception means we know prevention of pregnancy. Okay, by interfering, it may be in the case of ovulation or maybe in fertilization or maybe in the implantation. Fine. what we are using to prevent the pregnancy, what kind of methods we are using, or what kind of devices we are using. Such devices or methods we can call it as a contraceptive methods. Now we can see these are the devices. These are the devices or methods which we are used to prevent, the pregnancy. We can call it as contraceptive methods. Are you understanding? Is a very important question for 1 mark. Okay, contraceptive methods. What are contraceptive methods? It is very important for the 1 mark question. Okay, now see that. One more time I will repeat it, the contraceptive methods. Contraceptive methods means a devices or maybe a methods which we are used to prevent the conception or prevent the pregnancy. We can call it as a contraceptive methods. Okay, fine. Now these contraceptives are, we can classify it into different types. Now we'll write types of contraceptives. Types of contraceptives. Types of contraceptives. How many types of contraceptives are available in the society which are given by the government? We will discuss one by one clearly. Now first of all, we will take the types of contraceptives. In this mainly we will discuss about 2 categories. We will divide these contraceptive methods into 2 categories, that is temporary contraceptive methods and second one is permanent contraceptive methods. Temporary and permanent contraceptive methods, nothing but temporary contraceptive methods means temporary contraceptives, permanent contraceptives. What is meant by the temporary contraceptives? What is meant by the permanent contraceptives? Temporary contraceptives mean which is working temporarily. It's not a permanent process. It may be, it works maybe 1 year or maybe 2 years or maybe a maximum 5 years. But here this method is permanent method. It is nothing but as a surgical method. Surgical method is permanent method. It is widely used. Many people are widely used this method. It is a permanent method. But one thing when we go to this permanent method is we will not get again pregnancy. Once if you done these permanent contraceptives and will not get the pregnancy again one more time. That's we have to think it and you have to go for the permanent contraceptive methods. Now later on one more thing we are discussing here, that is MTPs. Medical termination of pregnancy. This is also legally we are removing the pregnancies or legally we are done the abortions. Okay, with the help of a medical practitioners. Clear? Now we'll discuss temporary contraceptives. Again can be divided into different types. What are those? One is in the temporary category. We'll discuss about the natural contraceptive methods. Natural contraceptive methods one type, and one more is natural contraceptive methods, and one more is we are discussing artificial contraceptive methods. Artificial contraceptives. Under these artificial contraceptives, we will discuss or we will explain many things, such as one is barrier methods and second one is chemical methods, barrier methods, and as well as IUDs, and as well as under this category we will discuss about chemical methods and finally these two are very important. And finally one more thing we'll discuss here, that is the implants or injectables. Implants are injectables. Now you can see that now temporary contraceptive methods are categorized again into two types. One is natural contraceptive methods, second one is artificial contraceptive methods. Under this artificial contraceptive methods, we are discussing about barriers, and we are discussing about IUDs, we are discussing about chemicals, we are discussing about implants and injectables. Implants and injectables. Now, permanent methods mean, again permanent methods we are explaining separately for the males and females. For males, permanent method we can say it as a vasectomy. Vasectomy. For females, permanent method we can say it as tubectomy. You can say it as a tubectomy. Okay, now you can see that permanent contraceptives are two types: vasectomy, tubectomy. Vasectomy method is for the males, tubectomy method is for the females. Okay, now MTPs. You know that MTPs means nothing but medical termination of pregnancy. In detail we discuss later on about the MTP. Now we'll move forward to the temporary methods. In that we'll discuss about the natural contraceptive methods clearly. What are natural contraceptive methods? How we are going to be following these methods? What are the disadvantages of these methods also we'll discuss clearly. Okay, fine. Now we'll move forward to that natural methods. That is here why it is called as a natural methods. When we are called, these methods are called as a natural methods mean these methods does not require any chemicals and does not require any kind of physical devices to prevent the pregnancy. Okay, are you understanding? Natural methods mean the methods which we are following without using any chemicals, without using any physical devices to prevent the pregnancy. Such methods we can call it as a natural contraceptive methods. Now we can see natural contraceptive methods we can divide into three types mainly. One is periodic abstinence or else safe period, one type. Second one we can tell this one is a coitus interruptus or else withdrawal of penis. Withdrawal of penis. Coitus interruptus or withdrawal of penis. This is the second type. Third type, lactational amenorrhea. Lactational amenorrhea. This is the third type. We will discuss one by one clearly. First one we will take up periodic abstinence. Periodic abstinence mean abstinence is nothing but stopping. Abstinence is nothing but stopping. Safe period means when the safe period is there for the participation of sexual contact, when the risky period is for the sexual contact. That also we will discuss clearly. Now we can see the couple avoid the coitus. In this method, the couples avoid the coitus. Coitus is nothing but as a sexual contact. Coitus is nothing but as a sexual contact. From days 10 to 17 of menstrual cycle. 10 to 17 of menstrual cycle. We know very well about the menstrual cycle or else monthly cycle. It takes every 28 days every 28 days per month, and in this period mainly in the 14th day of menstrual period the ovulation will takes place. But before 2 days of ovulation, after 2 days of ovulation is unsafe period for the participation of sexual contact, because the egg will remains in the fallopian tube minimum 2 days. So that we need to avoid the pregnancy in this period particularly. Now we can see here the couple avoid the coitus from days 10th to 17th of menstrual cycle. When ovulation when ovulation could be expected. When ovulation could be expected. Why we are avoiding in this period only sexual contact? The reason is to avoid the or to expected in this period compulsory the ovulation will takes place, so that we have to avoid the sexual contact in this period. That we can say it as a that period is ovulation period. Okay, that's what when ovulation could be expected during in this stage. That's what we need to avoid the sexual contact in this period. Now we can see the chances of fertilization is very high. If you participate in sexual contact in this period, the chance of getting pregnancy is very high. The chances of getting pregnancy is very high. So that we need to avoid the pregnancy, or else we have to avoid the pregnancy during in this period. This period is called as fertile period. This period is called as a fertile period. Why? Because it is a fertile period. During in this period, ovulation will take place. Eggs are releasing. These eggs are chances to meet with the sperms and getting pregnancy is possible. So that this period we can say it as a fertile period. Okay, this period is called as a fertile period because in this period chances is very high to get the to take place fertilization to get the pregnancy. Clear? Now we can see the second one, the second method, coitus interruptus. Coitus interruptus means nothing but while participating in sexual contact, we remove, means males are removing the penis from the vagina of the female. Now we can see that coitus interruptus, or else we can call it as a withdrawal of penis. Okay, it involves withdrawal. It involves in this method. It involves withdrawal of penis from the vagina just before ejaculation. Just before ejaculation. What is meaning of just before ejaculation? The meaning of just before ejaculation is just before releasing the sperms into a vagina. We have to, or we need to remove the penis from the vagina of the female. Then so as to avoid the semen release into the vagina. Then obviously we can prevent the pregnancy. If the sperms are not releasing into vagina, there is no chance to get the pregnancy. Even eggs are waiting in the fallopian tube. Then also the sperms are not available for meeting, and there is no chance to get the pregnancy. Are you understanding? One more time I will repeat it this one. Coitus interruptus. Coitus interruptus, or else we can also call it as a withdrawal of penis method. In this method, it involves withdrawal of penis from the vagina of the female just before ejaculation, so as to avoid the semen release into a vagina. So as to avoid the semen release into a vagina. Semen means nothing but, you know very well, semen is nothing but as a sperm releasing into the vagina. Clear? Now we'll go for the third method, that is lactational amenorrhea. Lactational amenorrhea means, you know that very well, lactation. Lactation means nothing but milk secreting period. Milk secreting period. In this period, it involves the prevention of conception. The prevention of conception. What is meant by conception? Conception is nothing but as a pregnancy. It involves the prevention of conception or prevention of pregnancy by breastfeeding by child. Breastfeeding by child. During in this period, breastfeeding by child means nothing but milk secreted by males that was taken by the childs. In this period, ovulation and menstrual cycle does not occurs. Okay, does not occurs. during the period of lactation. During in the lactation period time, the menstrual cycle and ovulation will not take place in the females, so that it is the safest period for the participation of sexual contact. Okay, clear? Now one more time I will repeat it here. Lactational amenorrhea. Lactational amenorrhea in the sense it involves the prevention of conception or pregnancy by breastfeeding by child. Ovulation and the menstrual cycle do not occurs during in this period of lactation. During in this period of lactation. Clear? However, this is effective up to 6 months. Up to 6 months after delivery, after parturition or else after delivery. Why it is up to 6 months only effective? For example, in this time we'll get one doubt in our mind. What is that doubt? For example, if you observed in your surroundings, some mothers are giving milk to the baby until 1 or 2 years. Till 2 years, somebody will take milk even in 3rd year also. Why it is? Okay, then I told that only up to 6 months it is effective. Okay, during in that time also lactation will occur. After 1 year also lactation may takes place, but it is not at that time it is not effective. After 6 months this method is not effective to prevent the pregnancy. The reason is when the secretion of milk sufficiently, then only it work effectively because of some hormonal balance. Some hormones are maintaining this thing. Now we can see that here. However, this period is effective only up to 6 months. The reason is when the mother is giving sufficient, when the mother is producing sufficient milk, then only it will effectively working. That is up to 6 months it is possible. Okay, that's what they given in the period of 6 months. Clear? One more time I will repeat it. Lactational amenorrhea is effective only 6 months. The reason is up to 6 months the mother will secrete the sufficient amount of milk, so that in this period only safe period for the participation of sexual contact. Clear? Now the next one, it having some of the drawbacks, that is chances of failure is, this method is very high. Chances of failure, this method is high. This method is high. Chances of failure, this method is high. I told you already, you are getting doubt, no? Up to 1 year, 2 years also somebody is giving milk to the baby. At that time, if you are participating in sexual contact, then also will not get female will not get pregnancy. No, you are telling only about up to 6 months. That is also one of the chance to get the pregnancy. Even if you are participating sexual contact in this period also, sometimes it may fail. Sometimes it may fail. Clear? Now we'll move to the barrier methods. Barrier methods. Barrier methods. In this method, if you observe it, barrier methods, you know that barrier means nothing but some obstacle, physical obstacle presented in the vagina or cervix of the female, which will effectively which affect the fertilization. It affect or it interfering in the fertilization, so that prevent the pregnancy is possible. Now we can see that in these barrier methods, these methods prevent the physical mating. How it is working? By what? Which principle it is working means, the principle of working a barrier methods is, these methods prevent the physical mating of sperms and ovum. Sperms and ovum. It will prevent the physical mating of sperm and ovum, so that obviously we get the rid from pregnancies. Okay, it is available for both males and females. It is available for both males and females. These barriers are available in society or in the market for both males as well as to the females. Clear? Now, if you take up example of male barriers, example of female barriers, we'll discuss. First one, if you take about the condoms. Condoms are available for both males as well as to the females. Male condoms, it is a rubber sheath. It is a rubber sheath or latex material which covers the penis, in males during in sexual contact. It covers the penis of males during in sexual contact. The common brand provided by Human Welfare Services is Nirod. Nirod is a common brand which will provided by the Human Welfare Services. Human Welfare Services, that is the male condom. Okay, this male condom also effectively working to prevent the, you know that very well, that mechanism of barrier method is preventing the physical meeting of sperms and ovules. That is done by the male condoms, and even it will prevent the sexually transmitted diseases. Now the next one, move to the female condoms. Female condoms also known as a Fern shields. Female condoms also called as a Fern shields. They are polyurethane pouches. Polyurethane, it is nothing but is a polymer. With the help of this polymer, we are making, or the government is preparing the pouches used to cover external genitalia, that is nothing but as a vagina and cervix. Okay, it is also effectively preventing the pregnancy, and also as well as it is also preventing the sexually transmitted diseases. Now we can see the difference between the male condom and female condoms. Which difference we are noticing? What are the differences we are noticing here? Mainly, if you take male condom, okay, this is the male condom. This is the male condom. Male condom having only one opening. One side only, the male condom having opening. One side should be closed. Okay, here what happens, which is used to cover, for example, the male penis. For example, this is the penis of the male. These condom will cover the male penis like this. Whenever the male participating in a sexual contact, the sperm ejaculated into this condom. This will depositing in the condom itself. It is not entering into the female vagina. There is no chance of getting the pregnancy. But one drawback for these barrier methods is chances of failure is sometimes chances of breaking is possible. Because of heat. While participating in sexual contact, due to rubbing and due to heat producing during at that time, chances of breaking is possible. Okay, that's what some members are using these barriers double during in participating in sexual contact. We have to care about this also, and the branded barriers only we have to use which are available in the market. Clear? Now this is one thing. Next one, if you take of female condoms. Female condoms, if you take. Female condoms, also we can say it as a femidomes. Okay, in the name of femidomes, we can get the female condoms in the market. These female condoms is, if you see, female condoms opening at the both sides. Here also open, here also open. Both sides opening should be presented for the female condoms. Here you can see that, but one side opening is smaller opening, one side opening is larger opening. Now we can see that in the female condoms we are noticing both sides ring is presented. Both sides ring should be presented. Both side ring should be presented. Here male condom, one side only having the ring. One side only having the ring. Okay, now here female condom also having one side opening, one side close, where the narrow opening is there, narrow opening or narrow ring is presented. There will observe the close. Will observe the close. Where the wider opening we have seen, there it will be open condition. Clear? Now this is also working principle is same like as a male condom, but here what happens is whenever male is participating in sexual contact, the sperms are depositing in the female condom. Then after that we can remove this condom from the female vagina. Then obviously we'll get rid from the we'll get rid from the pregnancies. Are you clear? Now one more time I will tell you that female condoms are available in the name of femidoms. These femidoms are having two rings. Both the sides having the rings. One side ring should be open, another side ring should be closed. But one side ring is wider ring, another side ring is narrow ring. Clear? This is also made up of with a polymers, that is the polyurethane pouches. Polyurethane material we can use to prepare these female femidoms. Clear? Yes. We already discussed about the condoms. Okay, about the condoms we are discussing. What are the condoms? How many types are there? How it is working? Okay, mechanism of action and all we are discussed. Clear? Now, drawbacks of condoms also we are discussed. That is the possibility to breaking while participating in sexual contact. Now the next one, if we go to the diaphragms, cervical caps, holes, these also belong into the category of barrier methods. In the category of B, that is diaphragms, cervical caps and holes, we will discuss one by one clearly. What are diaphragms? Diaphragms, it is a rubber sheath. It is a rubber sheath like as a condoms, but the shape of this material is different. The material which we are using to manufacturing of this, okay, right? Now these diaphragms, cervical caps and hole caps also little bit similar to the condoms, but the difference is manufacturing material little bit different, and the shapes of these material and these cervical caps and diaphragms are different from the condoms. Now we can see that first we will discuss about the diaphragms. These are rubber sheath with flexible. These are it is a rubber sheath. It is a rubber sheath like as a condom with a flexible metal ring. With a flexible metal ring. For suppose if you see here, this is a rubber material, and here we are fitting one metal ring. We are fitting here one metal ring, but metal ring also a flexible metal ring. A flexible metal ring we are arranging in this case. Then after that, at the margin we are putting the metal ring, which is fitted inside the vagina. Which is fitted where? Inside the vagina. Inside the vagina. Obviously, it is also act like as a barrier to prevent the release of or entry of semen into the in the case of uterus. The case of uterus. Now we can see cervical caps. It is also one of the barrier. It is cervical caps. It is a rubber nipple. It is a rubber nipple-like structure. Rubber nipple-like structure. If you see here, the difference between the diaphragm and cervical cap. Here you can see that shape is different. Here you can see that shape is different. It is a nipple result, nipple-like shape, which is fitted over the cervix. which is fitted over the,
they may say continuous breed.
suction method, suction principle. How it is remaining in the cervical region? With the help of the suction principle. With the help of the suction principle. Okay, fine. Now we can see the last one, that is the Volt cap. Volt cap, it is the different from these diaphragm and cervical cap little bit. Not much variation, little variation among these. Now we can see Volt cap. Volt cap, it is dome-like rubber. It is a dome-like. We can see that dome-shaped structure we are observing here. It is a dome-like rubber or plastic cap. Or plastic cap. Sometimes we'll get this one with a little bit hard plastic also. Okay, that's what we are given here. Rubber or plastic cap with a thick rim. Thick rim means here the rim, the margin is very thick. The margin is very thick. Clear? And which meant for covering the cervix region like as a cervical cap, which is also meant for the covering of cervical region. And obviously, what is the mechanism of action of these three is to prevent the entry of sperms into a uterus. To prevent the entry of sperms into a uterus. This is the mechanism action of these diaphragms, cervical caps and Volt caps. Are you understanding? Okay, clear? Okay, right. Now we'll move forward to the ideal contraceptives, characteristics of the ideal contraceptive methods. Characteristics of, they are asking for a 2 marks question. It is for 2 marks question. It's important for the 2 marks question. What are the ideal characteristics of the contraceptive methods? They may ask. Now we can see, first one, they should be user friendly. They should be user friendly and economically cheap. Economically cheap. All the users from the poor peoples to rich peoples, all the peoples can use these methods. Such methods only we can consider it as a ideal methods or ideal contraceptive methods. Now they should be user friendly. They should be user friendly means they should be economically cheap and also easily they can use without taking any guidance from anyone. They can use easily, and also they should be with no side effects. They should be with no side effects. Some with minute side effects also we can consider it. They should be with no side effects. Okay, the next one, they should be reversible. They should be reversible. They should be reversible means we can use one more time these things. For example, if you take diaphragms, cervical caps, Volt caps, we can reuse it. But sometimes in condoms category, if you take, here these are, we are not exactly 100% we can say it as a ideal contraceptives. 90% we can consider as ideal contraceptives condoms also. The reason is, it is also effectively working against the sexual transmitted diseases. There is no side effects. Okay, these all things we can consider it. But one drawback is here, breaking. Sometimes it may be breaks. If it is breaks, obviously sexual transmitted diseases also will get, possibility is there, and obviously failure of conception means failure of prevention of pregnancy. But here in this case, if you observe it, diaphragms breaking means we can't use, reuse again. If this one we can't reuse, is in use and throw things. Condoms are use and throw. But in this case, if you come to the diaphragms, cervical caps, Volt caps, these are reversible. These are reversible. Why it is reversible? Because these are material. The made up material is little bit hard in nature and little bit material is different from this condoms material. That's what we can reuse it. These things again we can, one time if we place in the vagina or cervix, again we can remove it and we can wash it. We can use one more time when we are participating in the sexual contact. Clear? That's what. They should be reversible in nature. They should be reversible in nature. and more effective than compared to other methods. They should be more effective than compared to other methods. That is also one of the important thing. One of the important characteristics for the ideal contraceptives. Now the lastly, they should not interfering with normal sexual intercourse. They should not be interfering while participating in sexual contact normally. If it is interfering, it causes irritation or it causes any obstacle, and obviously it's not a ideal contraceptive. That's what they should not interfering with the normal sexual intercourse. Okay, one more time I will repeat these things. First of all, first character is they should be user friendly, they should be more economical, and they should not having side effects. And third one, they should be reversible. And fourth one, they are more effective. And fifth one, they should not interfering with the normal sexual intercourse. Are you getting this one? Okay, fine.